The same way the phone booth was replaced by comm centers was replaced by space to space. Space to space has been replaced by Momo vendors. It's definitely always going to be something else. AI is just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably something on the horizon that's coming that's even going to replace it. So you're going to stay and wait for that to pass you by. When the next thing comes, then what happened?
Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Ocran. Welcome you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Today we have an exciting discussion for you on AI for all. Why you just can't afford to ignore this behemoth called artificial intelligence. My guest for today is qualified to help us unpack the origin, the progression, and the future of artificial intelligence. Kobby Spiky Nkrumah is the IT manager at Quantum LC. Kobby, welcome to Springboard.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What is this noise about artificial intelligence? Where did it come from and what exactly is it?
So, artificial intelligence has been with us for a very long time.
Really?
Yes, as far back as in the 1950s. So, the term was coined that early, but people didn't know about it until the 2020s. Now, a typical example of what artificial intelligence has been doing in our lives would be your Google Maps. You know, every day you're trying to navigate from point A to point B, you open Google Maps and it tells you there's traffic on this road. And you're probably wondering, how did it know there's traffic there? It's gathering data from all the other devices of people using that same route that you're using, and then using the time they're moving from one point to the other, the speed they're moving, and the amount of devices in a certain area to tell that, okay, this must mean there's traffic because they're moving at this short pace per time, per second or per minute. So that means there's traffic. Then it reports to the system, which learns from all that data, compiles it, and then gives it to you in a graphical user interface that you look at and be like, the red mark means there's traffic. That's AI. Your social media feed, where if I watch this show every single time, it starts to recommend this show and others like it to me. It's all AI. It's not someone sitting down there watching what you're watching and telling you, hey, I see you like this, so let me serve you more of this. No, that would be a lot of work considering there are billions of people on social media. So you develop an AI tool that watches every single person's activity and then finds content that they would like and continues to serve them. And there's a lot more of these applications that we've been using and not knowing that they are actually AI until ChatGPT boomed.
Oh, wow. So it would mean that if I bought, as it really did happen, I bought a set of developmental material, let's say 10 years ago on Amazon, and it came back and said, those who bought this typically bought this and recommended a similar author to me. That was AI at work.
Yes.
So what changed?
People need to experience stuff. People love experiences. So I think the experience is what changed everything. When they got to realize that there's a tool that can generate things, which is why that type of AI is called generative AI. So the ability to generate text, generate images, video, sound, it was never before seen. Everybody would, if I wanted to write an essay, it had to come from my own head. I had to think. If I wanted to type a letter, I had to think about it. I can't draw. But now I can make art thanks to AI. So that ability to generate all these content brought it to the fore, where people who hitherto had no skills whatsoever in certain areas are able to create those things. Now realize that, oh, so this is AI. This is what AI can do. But even though it can do a lot more, this is what made it famous. So this was its party trick, to say the least.
If you juxtapose this against the emergence of social media, let's take an algorithm like Facebook. Suddenly, people could relate to a particular aspect of Facebook. There are other aspects. Is there a correlation between this one and AI as well? That once it met a need that was regular in the lives of people, they got hooked on, and then they would find out later that there were other users that were not in the immediate interface. Would it be similar?
It is. I mean, you're right on the money with that. AI is I used to compare it to the internet, the emergence of the internet, but social media even makes it easier for people to understand because we use it all the time. It helped us connect with people, and now AI is helping us to create or to correct ourselves, to become better and efficient and more productive. I mean, so yes, it is exactly like how you put it, just like the advent of social media and its benefits.
This program is actually aiming at helping people to really understand what it is, because for many, they are holding on to the little bit of what they know and then making their case based on that. And I've heard some very, very powerful people who you would assume are very informed about it, take a position based on a certain angle of it. So let's even go back to the sheer power, the sheer functionality. What does AI bring to this whole tech discussion?
So we'll break it down. The fact that we even call it artificial intelligence is what lets us understand that it's extremely powerful, because it's trying to mimic what we have, our God-given intelligence, so artificial, basically man-made, and intelligence, the ability to acquire the knowledge to do something, which is what we humans do. So if you call someone intelligent, it's because they've been able to acquire the knowledge to do something and do it very well. So an intelligent accountant has acquired the knowledge to play with numbers very well. So if you take an AI accountant, it's an artificially intelligent accountant. So an accountant who's learned how to play with numbers very well, but it's not human, it's man-made. Same thing with an AI driving car. It's acquired the knowledge to drive, and so it has become very good at driving. That's to say that and there's a lot more that it can do. Now, my last submission, I said it makes people more productive and efficient. And that's because it has access to a lot more data and is able to process things faster. I mean, as humans, we have very powerful brains, but unfortunately for us, we have to think about other things, like what are we going to eat? What are we going to wear? I don't think an AI is going to be susceptible to any of these trivial human problems. Neither is it going to ever have a bad mood or a bad day. So if I wake up in the morning and my back is aching, it's going to affect my day. It's going to affect my productivity. AI is not going to go through that. AI is going to be as effective as it was from day one, except obviously when the computer starts to have issues, then you have downtimes, but that's just technical. So the sheer power, when we're talking about the sheer power, we're talking about how much data and how much it knows. So there was news stories when the surge of AI came, where it had passed the law exams in certain countries, it had passed medical exams in certain countries. It was passing other exams. And people were like, oh, it's coming for our jobs, because it's doing all these things very well. But the reason it's doing all those things very well is because it's trained on a lot of data. That's what people need to realize. That
show us the back end. How does it work? I mean, how does it work? How does it? One day somebody sent me a text and mentioned a couple of very well-known people. One, a president of a big country. One, the richest person in Africa, and one, a very respected minister. And he said, if these three were in a conference speaking on this topic, this is what they would say. And the summary the person sent me was so relatable because it kind of captured how they talk, the terms they use. And I'm reading the term like, hey, hold on. Then I sent him a text and say, wow, that's close. He says, no, hold on. I'm just sending you what you will see.
Wow.
And he sent me what I would see. And I'm telling you, the way I would summarize, it was all in there.
Yeah.
And I said, how does it get to know? How does it know?
Data.
So tell me how it works.
Okay, so for every AI model, and there are many AI models. When we talk about an AI model, like I mentioned, an AI being able to do a task. So AIs are not general right now. We're still waiting for the point where AIs can, like one AI can do a lot of things. But right now you have specific tasks that certain AIs can complete. So let's take the most popular one, generative AI, ChatGPT, Meta AI, and the rest. So when you hear GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, so it's generating stuff for the generative. It's pre-trained, meaning that they fed it data. And then when you hear the transformer, it's not, the robots from Transformers, but it's actually every single word or at least anything you feed it, it looks for, say, synonyms, like anything that's like it, and tries to explore, expatiate it. So if you were, let's say I took a word like springboard and I drop it into an ocean, we create a ripple. Now each ripple is a synonym of the word springboard. Is a different path for the word springboard, and it explores each path and sees how similar it is to what it is to the statement or the question that you're asking it, and tries to connect. And it does this in record time. So you can imagine how many possible outcomes could come from that one word.
So if I asked about Springboard and it gave me information about Springboard, is it because one, it knows that I'm in Ghana and therefore will zero in on the Springboards in Ghana? Or two, is it because it would know that from my own use of my phone, my computer, the Springboards that I typically will revolve around are a certain cluster? Does it know my preferences?
So it would know your preferences based on your usage. So if
so anything I type into, give me a script
because of how you've used it. So based on how you've used it, it's learned from you. Okay. Mine talks to me very casually, and it's learning how I speak because I've asked it to.
So if it throws inspirational stuff at me, it throws research stuff at me, it throws it's because it knows that's the kind of person you are.
Yes, because of your usage. Okay. So the example I gave about our social media, that's curating our feed to suit us. Imagine if you're on social media and you're getting content that was not inspirational, that was just time wasting. How long would you think you'd spend there? You'd leave because it's not interesting. It's not what you want. And that's essentially most of the digital tools out there now. They try to give you things that would keep you there or things that you would relate to. And
so if I asked how can I have a good day, and you asked how can I have a good day, it would
be different.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Let's try it. So which one are you using? Meta?
I use ChatGPT and Gemini.
Okay. So let me go to Meta and ask, how can I have a good day? Let's go. How can I have a good day? So I hope you give me some sensible answer. I'm very upset if it doesn't.
So I asked ChatGPT, and instantly the introduction is just how I would say it. It goes like, the eternal quest for a good day.
Oh, Charlie, that means I'm too serious.
I'm very philosophical and playful, so that's how it starts.
Okay.
And goes on to talk about... So the first one says, wake up early-ish, not 4 a.m. monk mode early.
Really?
Unless that's your thing. But early enough to have space before chaos begins. And my days can be extremely chaotic.
Okay.
What's the first thing it told you?
So it says it often involves a combination of mindset, self-care, and intentional actions. Here are some tips. Morning routine. Start with gratitude. Set positive intentions. Practice mindfulness.
So much like you.
Yeah.
I mean, just here talking about, don't touch your phone, which do one thing just for you, could be music, stretch, because I always have back issues, or sitting with your thoughts over tea, like a boss.
Then it says throughout the day, stay hydrated, connect with others, do something you enjoy, practice self-compassion. And then what does it say?
Mine says, saying laugh, connect, or compliment someone, even if it's just sending a meme or saying you did pop to a colleague.
Really?
Yeah.
Charlie, mine is boring. It's boring, grass. Mine says, focus on the present, cultivate positivity, and reframe challenges. Let's see my evening. It says, reflect on your day, plan for tomorrow, unwind and relax. The evening is a bit kinder to me, but the daytime is very serious.
Mine ends with reflect, what went well, what annoyed you, what can wait till tomorrow, and then do one thing that brings joy, not productivity. It just sounds like something all my friends would tell me.
Okay.
Because that's essentially what my life is about.
How does the algorithm know that?
So data. So there's a lot of data that's been fed into these things over the years, and it can draw connections between psychologists' data, lifestyle data, and build a profile based on you. So you're asking this, let's just break it down. This question is both psychological, it's a lifestyle question, it has wellness, bits in it, and it would, so like I said, it will transform that phrase and find all the connections to it and explore as much as it can about all that information and present something to you.
The biggest conversations around AI, and whether we like it or not, it's been about the ethics of it. Some say, wow, it's not ethical. I mean, because what has made it popular is because in research you can find in 5 seconds what typically you should have spent 2 weeks doing, or a week doing, a month doing.
Yeah.
So they say it's not ethical. What would you say to that?
So I like to give this analogy. I believe if my dad was doing when my dad was doing research when he was in tertiary, he would only have access to books in his library in his community. If he wanted more books, he would have to travel to another library. And if he gets then the same book in his library, the knowledge hasn't expanded. He's limited. He would have to essentially go to different libraries to get as many books, to get different perspectives on whatever research he was doing. Then let's come from his generation to say maybe your generation. You probably had access to a bigger library with more variety of books. And so your scope was wider. Your perspective was broader. You saw the world from a bigger field of view than he probably did. Then came my generation who had access to the internet and Encarta Encyclopedia, which puts the world in the palm of our hands, on a computer, in our schools, at home. And when I got to tertiary, we had Wikipedia, which even brought more knowledge closer to us. But you couldn't search as far. You're limited to how much time you'd spend. You're limited to how much internet you had, or how much knowledge had actually been put there, or the language barrier. Maybe somebody did a research in Korea that resonates with what I'm doing, but I don't speak Korean. So how would I understand what that person's research was? And then this advent of AI, which has taken all these research papers, all this knowledge out there and put it somewhere that you can access at a click of a button. So you see, it sounds bad when people say, oh, you're doing it easy, because we glorify hard work. We glorify suffering too much. We like to think, hey, when it was our time, we used to do this. You have to do it too. But I think that it makes it easier for us to now charter uncharted territories. Think about it. The time you'd spend doing that math, the AI could do that math for you. Now it can do a higher level of math because the basic one is already done.
The second argument, also quite widespread, is the notion, and I won't call them misconceptions, I'll throw them at you for you to respond the way you like. The second notion or the argument is that AI is for lazy people.
Well, then I'm lazy. You see,
are you?
I mean, I've always looked for efficiency in my line of work. I don't believe in repetitive tasks. I don't believe in hard work, because I think that, if something can be automated so you can get time to do more, and it's really helped me to learn more. Spending your time, imagine if you were going to, let me just take it. So anyone who says that AI is going to make us lazy should probably start riding a horse and chariot. Should probably start cooking in an earthenware bowl, not use a blender, not even use a knife. Harvest things the old way. Let's go back to the old times. There's progress. We may seem to think that progress is making us lazy, but it is alleviating us from simple tasks that we could just give to something else to do. And then we could explore much more difficult tasks.
The proponents of AI say, whereas some say it's for lazy people, even using generative AI, which you mentioned earlier on, just to be able to get an intelligent answer to a research question, you need to craft the question and then you need to follow it up.
Yes.
Typically, when I'm engaging any generative AI for anything I'm trying to research into, I probably would ask the question I'll ask follow-up questions about 10 times. I would never take the first answer.
Exactly.
Because I would ask more questions. Why not this? Have you thought about this? And by the time I finish, I would have gotten the angles that I want to be able to compare what I'm doing and say, okay, now I get a sense of it. So that argument says that, listen, even knowing the right questions to ask is itself a lot of work. Would that be your position as well?
Yes. So, prompts, it's called prompting.
Right.
And it's just like when the internet started, knowing how to Google was actually a skill. Some people would just go and type how to do this. Someone would actually type it with certain queries and certain commands that would get them the specific site or answer they're looking for. So it's a skill. Not everyone will get the best out of AI. I know people who can use AI to generate art that looks so realistic because they're able to prompt it very well. And it benefits those who understand. If you don't know, you don't know. So assuming I'm trying to generate this set and I don't even know what this is called, how do I prompt it to put this there? If I don't know how to describe you, how do I prompt the AI to create you? So you have to be able to, you must have the knowledge and be able to prompt the AI to get the desired results. So if it's for lazy, I don't think lazy people would actually even have the time or the ability to do that, to say, okay, I want you to create a backdrop with a gray and orange, abstract art in the background. A lazy person probably wouldn't know how to prompt.
So what kind of person will optimize or get the maximum use out of AI?
Anyone who wants to get the best out of themselves in whatever they do can actually get the best out of AI. So musicians, creatives in general, not even only music, creatives in general, business people, teachers, even farmers. I was talking to a farmer who was like, well, I'm a farmer. And I'm like, yeah. And you could benefit from AI because if you trained an AI model on your crops, on your harvest, on how much fertilizer you're using, and you were taking data from, some of your operations, you'll be able to optimize your operations better. Because over time, it'd probably tell you that you're using too much fertilizer on this part of the field. This part of the field is already fertile. And I even worked with a team that was using drones to capture their crops and then transmit that data into an AI model that was telling them when their crops would mature. So they would know, and it would even optimize their irrigation. So it's not over irrigating and it's not under irrigating. So depending on when the weather, monitors the weather, turns on the sprinklers to water their plants. When the weather tracks the weather forecast, knows it's about to rain, it reduces the amount of water it sprays on the plants. He's going to get probably 10% better yield. And not just me being, charitable with the numbers, but he could probably get better yield than someone. And I like to use this example. Imagine if you're a pure water seller and you were gathering data on where you sold pure water, how many pure waters you sold, the people that bought them, what car they were in, where they were going, and you put it down you collected it for a period of time. You would probably start selling better than other people who are just doing it without data because when I stand here at this time, I sell more and they want this brand. Let me not buy that brand. I'll buy more of these brands. And your AI tool just set an alarm for you and tell you it's time, 11 o'clock, stand at Kwashima traffic light. You should sell about 100 bottles and it would be right on the money.
At least in my use of Google Maps, I just am fascinated by the interactive nature of it and the accuracy of saying I'll be there at 7 and 6:59, you're ringing the doorbell. So can AI be used in politics?
It has been used in politics.
Help us to appreciate.
Well, we all heard about the Cambridge Analytica scandal. That was AI in its very narrow form. So what we call psychographic analytics. What everybody knows about social media is demographic analytics, age, sex, nationality and all that. Psychographic is when you're taking those tests and they're asking you, who will you marry in the next 5 years? And then you go and take the quiz and they ask you certain questions. Those questions are building a psycho profile about you, the individual. Now with that, they know that your favorite color is blue. You may think your favorite color is actually green, but based on these answers that you've given over time, the system is able to tell that no, you actually really like blue, or you gravitate more towards blue. Now with that being said, if I was going to show you a political, video, I would color grade it blue because subconsciously that would appeal to you. I would use a lot of blue accents. And if I know that you are xenophobic based on the kind of content and the kind of interaction you do, I will push xenophobic agenda content to you. So if I'm a political person, I came and I was like, hey, do you know that these people are coming in to steal our jobs? When you elect me into power, I'm going to get them all out of there. I'm appealing to you. But I would be telling the other person who's not xenophobic a totally different story.
So the messaging is selective.
Is unique and selective based on the person's profile that has been built. And that's what won Donald Trump the presidency in his first time, because they had built profiles about people. So they served them what they knew they wanted to hear.
Marketing, customer service, writing, poetry, art. When we come back from this break, Kobby Nkrumah, aka Kobby Spiky, will be telling us about the different types of AI beyond the one that we all know and tend to use more pervasively. He also tell us about AI for business. As is the case with Facebook and social media, we all operate at the base of it and assume that's all that there is. But Kobby, you will take us a bit more into the deeper end,
sure, and
help us to know the other types of AI that are available and the higher levels of engagement required when you want to use it for big stuff in business, and then probably also some of the risks and then the future of AI. This is Springboard, your virtual investing. I'm enjoying this topic because it's something I've always wanted to ask about. What exactly is AI and how is it changing our lives? And you know what? We refusing to participate doesn't change anything. The world will still move on, and you will still find yourself competing with people who have superior access to superior tools than you do. So let's come back from the break and engage Kobby Spiky Nkrumah. Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested, and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, your advantage.
Hi, this is Albert Ocran. This August we celebrate 17 years of Springboard, your virtual university. This broadcast was born on the evening of 4th August 2008 when Comfort and I sat in the studios of Joy FM to discuss building the good society. Our reflections that day were on the writings of a Russian philosopher Leo Tolstoy, who wrote, "How much land does a man need?" 17 years on, and we still are reflecting on these same thoughts. How do we bring everyone on board to build the good society? It's amazing to reflect on how far we've gone with the broadcast, how many platforms it's serving people on, and how many millions across the world have been transformed by this broadcast. To God alone be the glory. We want to say a big thank you to all our partners and all our stakeholders, listeners, and viewers. You make Springboard the virtual university. To mark this special occasion, we're rolling out a series called Thinkathon, the power of ideas. We bring on experts from academia, business, industry, governance, students, leaders from all over to reflect on how ideas can transform our society. We have a couple of other interventions lined up for you, but this is Springboard at 17. We want to invite you to join us in these conversations and you'll be greatly inspired. Springboard, your personal value will shoot up.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skill sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Araba Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Ocran A and at Albert N.E. Ocran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this artificially generated version of your favorite developmental program. This is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. Today's discussion is about artificial intelligence. And before I come back to my guest, Kobby Spiky, let me give you the enterprise advantage tip for the day. And the question is, do I always have to pay for medical services under Acacia Health Insurance and claim a refund later? The answer is simply no. Members are expected to use their cards at accredited service providers and avoid paying cash unless during an emergency. This is brought to you by the Enterprise Group. Their number 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. Let me give you the Ghana Grows call center line. You can call or WhatsApp to get information about exciting things young people are doing in the sectors of agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET, including agri-tech and using drones to do exciting things like Kobby Spiky was talking about. The number to call or WhatsApp is 030-8255-775, especially if you're a young woman aged between 15 and 35 and have exciting thoughts and ideas about these sectors. Call and find out what others are doing and how you can be part of this amazing experience. Every week, we highlight one business that is doing good stuff in these sectors just to encourage them to keep doing what they do. And today we are looking at Honey Palace, and it's your trusted source for premium, natural, and sustainable honey. At the Honey Palace, we blend tradition with innovation to deliver exceptional quality from Ghana's finest beekeepers. And you can contact Honey Palace on 055 454 8978 055 454 8978. So the conversation today is about artificial intelligence, and my guest is Kobby Spiky Nkrumah. He is the IT manager at Quantum FC, and we have been exploring the origin and the evolution of AI and how it has become part of our everyday lives. And Kobby, just when we went on the break, I asked AI, what questions must I ask Kobby when we get back? And he gave me a set of questions to ask, and I just burst out laughing, almost like he was enjoying interrupting our conversation. But there's so much that the ordinary person wants to know about AI. And before we went on the break, we were talking about some of the inhibitions and concerns people have. Parents, people who feel that students are finding easier ways to do their academic work, people who feel that, no, this whole world is becoming too easy and we need to tighten things a bit. I stumbled on this research by MIT that I think will feed into those concerns. And it says that relying on generative AI tools like ChatGPT during the early stages of writing, can weaken neural activity, memory, and originality, raising questions about how students can integrate AI into education. It will just fit into those who argue that, listen, build your numeracy and literacy skills first before we put such generative tools in your hands. Yeah. Would you find a midpoint between the two schools of thought?
So I agree with that research, and it's something that I was actually discussing with a teacher a couple of weeks ago, because he was very concerned that his students were using ChatGPT, and which is worrying. I mean, I would say from the very early ages, they shouldn't be using ChatGPT for writing or for generating text, because one of the things that we will begin to experience would be the lack of critical thinking and logical reasoning. And you need that. You need that a lot. If you build that foundation where the young ones are able to write, read, think critically, and then reason logically, because it's a computer, garbage in, garbage out. And I always say that if you don't know the answer to expect and ChatGPT lies to you, how would you know? So it's a very, very dicey situation, because right now all people are focusing on really is ChatGPT and its peers, Meta AI and Snapchat AI. But then there are so many other AI tools. So
we'll come to that. Still on this one, if I pushed you to the wall, would you say there's an age at which children must now be allowed to access these tools?
Yes. So not from 3 to 6 at all.
7, you're good?
7 other AI tools. There's Khan Academy, which is an AI tool for basic schoolers to learn with. So
what does it do?
It helps them with math, with English, different basic education topics, and they would learn from it. It would give them tests. And the beauty about that kind of AI is that while the child is using it, it's learning from the child's mistakes and tailoring the next topics and questions for you to improve on where your weakness is.
Almost like private tuition.
Exactly. So rather than using ChatGPT, which is just ask me a question, I'll answer it, or if you're going to let your child from 7 use ChatGPT, you have to guide them. You can ask ChatGPT or any AI LLM, large language model, to create a study plan for your child. And it would help them, answer a question, it wouldn't give them the answer.
Walk us through some of the variety of. I know you can't exhaust all, but it would seem that while many people are zeroing in on 4 or 5, the DeepSeek, the Meta, the Snapchat, the ChatGPT, there are probably loads and loads of them. Give us the clusters, maybe if you can, and then possibly a couple of them.
Okay, so the clusters, you have the large language models with the ChatGPT, Meta AI, Snapchat AI, Claude, Perplexity, and all these ones are essentially just like ChatGPT. Ask them a question, they will answer in human language. So it's not robotic language. Then you have the ones that create images and art, like DALL-E, which is also from OpenAI. You have Midjourney. You even have Meta AI also being able to generate art. You have Google AI, which is branded as Gemini, which can also generate images. And there's Kling AI.
When you say generate images, for the benefit of those who are still at the very primary stages of AI use, what can it do and what can't it do?
So, perfect question. Assuming you wanted to start a business and you want a logo, you can't afford to pay a graphic designer who's going to charge you 3,000 Ghana cedis. I'm sorry, graphic designers, I'm not taking your job from you, but you also have to jump on the AI bandwagon. You can actually prompt an AI. I'm starting a honey business. It's located in Ghana. This is my target audience. I need a logo. I want a bee. I want a honeycomb. Use these colors. And then infuse a little bit of Ghana into it. And it will generate something.
No, I actually believed you until I realized I just mentioned you palace. So you're literally advising this Honey Palace guy to just go on AI.
I mean,
which type?
Oh, any. I personally don't use just one AI. I play with a lot of them to get different.
So the regular generative ones can do this?
Yes, they can do this. ChatGPT, but you have to get a Plus subscription. The basic one can do it, but it's limited. To get a Plus subscription.
Introduce something else, the Plus subscription.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you're paying. Then Gemini can also do this. Midjourney is also very good, but it's also paid. But Midjourney also requires more advanced prompts. When I say prompts, more description. So anyone listening, if you want to try to create like an image, you can just ask it to create a bowl of fufu and soup and see what it will create. And if you'd like to eat that, versus being very descriptive. That's how computers understand things. So
when you say descriptive, like groundnut soup, I mean, you have to go all the details.
Yes.
Akrantie.
What if you can describe Akrantie without just saying Akrantie? So Akrantie is which meat?
Grass cutter.
Grass cutter, good. So grass cutter means found here, cut at the limb. You have to be that descriptive, because don't assume that the AI knows what you're talking about. It's not human.
And it's still generating in 5 seconds.
It will still generate. I mean, with images, Gemini is faster than ChatGPT, I've come to realize. But depending on the complexity of your prompt, it could generate faster or slower.
Shall I generate a bowl of fufu and soup and with meat in it, and let's put it on the screen for people to see? Because this is a very serious conversation. Just for the benefit of, for those listening to us on radio, they won't get to see this, but those watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on television, I'm going to count you down. How many seconds will it take to generate your favorite bowl of food with which soup?
So you want me to do the advanced? I'm going to do it 2 ways. I'll do the very simple prompt.
Okay.
Generate a bowl, an image of a bowl of fufu and soup.
Yes.
And then I'll do one where I'm going to describe it in
Let's
detail.
do that now. I think that will be exciting.
So generate an image of a bowl of fufu and soup. Light soup. I like light soup. And light soup with meat.
Super.
So I've done that. And I'll just copy this and then send it. And it's going to generate that.
Did you click send?
Started, yes. So
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are we done?
Nope.
13, 14, 15. Am I counting 2 first?
No.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. This is we would have closed.
So Gemini has generated it already.
Oh wow! We're using two alt.
Yes, so
concurrently.
ChatGPT is still
But the soup is too
generating.
light or
It doesn't even look like light soup. It looks like some
watery.
Yeah, some yellow liquid. And what's this? Carrots
Vegetables and things
and
like that.
vegetables. You see,
Yeah.
because I didn't give it enough
All right.
description, so Gemini
No
didn't
vex.
get it. But I think the one on ChatGPT,
The soup looks.
it looks. I'm already seeing a chicken thigh over there. And
Yeah, that's right.
my stomach is grumbling already.
Okay. So let's.
Oh yes.
There you go. Okay. So bring it. So this is it. Look, this is live and colored. The one you can see. So okay. So you can see the one is it on your right, Charlie, facing the screen.
Yeah.
Well,
So on the viewer's left is the one on ChatGPT, and on the viewer's right is the one from Gemini.
so obviously the one that this one is the one on the left is
yeah.
more like the one. That's more like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this about the intelligence of or the adeptness of the algorithm to the question that you asked, or it just happens to be?
This is a very great question. This is one of the things that makes AI very difficult to predict because it's very difficult for it to recreate, like to be repetitive. So if you wanted to do something, the same way, it might not.
Upload the question again with the details that you think will give it a better look. And while it is processing, let me ask you about the risks and the jobs that are likely to be on the line as a result of this development. So put in the question about this time light soup with the descriptions that what did he say? Cut at the hip, Charlie, bad guy. Yeah, my friend, the vegetarian will not be happy with
Will not be happy with me at
describing
all.
it this way.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take an image of fufu and I'm going to feed it into ChatGPT and ask it to describe it. And I'll use that description as the prompt to ask it to generate the image. So that description will let me know if it sees what I'm seeing.
Is it like reverse engineering?
Exactly, reverse engineering. So it's one of the, what we call the hacks when you are prompting. So if you don't know how to describe it, take an image that sort of says what you want and then ask the AI model to describe it. And then once it does it, then you take that, alter it a bit.
I get the impression that some of what you are doing is too basic for people like you. I mean, this is like swimming at the 2 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But it takes a while.
feed that in and let's see what will happen.
So I've asked it to describe this image and generate a prompt for image generation.
Wow.
Okay. So once I'm done with that, it will generate a prompt. So I took an image of fufu form. So this is the description. The image shows a vibrant and appetizing bowl of fufu with light soup.
Okay.
A beloved West African, particularly Ghanaian dish. In the center is a smooth, rounded ball of fufu, slightly glossy from the surrounding soup. The light soup is rich orange red. See? Description. Oily and clearly seasoned with a slightly watery consistency typical of Ghanaian style light soup. So surrounding the fufu are a variety of proteins, a chunk of goat meat or beef bone in, a piece of cow tripe, a serving of pork or cow skin, and it puts in brackets willy, a slice of mackerel fish, a chunk of boiled pig's trotter, and then a visible piece of broccoli adding a pop of green color.
You know what they call that?
What?
United Nations.
Yes, indeed. All the protein is here.
Okay.
And so now it's generated a prompt. So a richly colored bowl of Ghanaian fufu and light soup with a smooth white ball of fufu sitting in a reddish-orange seasoned broth. The dish includes a variety of meat, cow tripe, goat meat, pig trotter, willy, cow skin, and a slice of grilled mackerel. A small piece of broccoli adds color contrast. The bowl is white, and the background surface is dark and speckled, enhancing the vibrancy of the food. Lighting is natural and warm, highlighting the texture of the soup and meat.
Now you lift this word for word and now put it in the algorithm and say, generate an image for me.
Yes.
How different is that?
So
wouldn't you just repeat what you saw?
So let me. I'm going to feed it into Gemini. I don't want to say the wrong one, and then we'll see.
I hope that you do a better job this time.
It will.
Charlie, that will be very interesting.
So I'll copy that text, which I've done right now, and then I'm going to ask it to.
I can tell you what, if you generate the image and it's better, it will confirm those who say that if you ask the wrong question, don't be surprised that you get a very terrible. You need to have some level of intelligence to use AI. So you've pasted it?
Yes, I've pasted it. So it's generating.
What are the risks involved in using AI?
Over-reliance. That's the number one risk. Okay. So reason why kids shouldn't. So here's our.
Oh wow! This is better than all the models so far, isn't it? Hey, my dear Robert, the cameraman, please don't lick your lips while you're zooming.
So I can see the wele. I can see the mackerel,
yes,
the cow, and the goats, and the
intestines,
seeds, and the broccoli. Except the food looks like omutu.
Yeah.
But it's better than the first one.
Yeah, it's better. And this is an amalgamation of what has been fed over the years, you're saying.
Yes. So
let's stay with over-reliance. That's number one.
Over-reliance, so if, like you asked the question about the children, when they start using AI and they realize, hey, I can do my homework, every time they get a least chance, they're going to feed it. Even us as adults, we're going to become over-reliant on it. It's going to affect your ability to think on your feet. So you're not exercising your mind. The same thing as when we got cars. A lot of us stopped walking. And so you realize what happened.
A new problem emerges.
Yes. And then we started going to the gym, working out. And now a lot of people are more concerned about their health, which wasn't a problem, say, about 80 years ago, because they walked more, they exercised more without intentionally having to. So in as much as it's going to improve stuff, it creates a problem.
A new problem,
which means that we're going to have to exercise our brains more. So you realize that you're using it more, read more, explore, try and get more knowledge on your own.
Find the balance.
Number two is jobs. Jobs are going to be lost. Jobs have been lost. And the reason is because a lot of people don't upskill. You learn one skill, you stay there. I watched a video where this kind of podcast where the cameras are stuck in one place, there's a plugin right now that can just auto-edit it based on who's speaking. So it cuts it and does it in seconds. So assuming someone wanted to create a podcast, they wouldn't need a videographer, they wouldn't need an editor, they just have to set up the cameras.
I can assure you that my videography team will edit this one out of the thing. I mean, how can you say that?
No, but you see, this was created by a videographer who decided to upskill.
Okay.
And create a tool that people like him would use, and he can get, so now he can take 10 jobs. He comes to set up cameras and goes to rest. So he can do 10 edits in a day.
First time I walked into Amsterdam, a print finishing factory in Amsterdam, probably about 10 years ago, and saw an integrated finishing machine that would literally take printed material, fold them, collate them, bind it, trim it, gather it, and it was being manned by one person, about a 40-foot machine, manned by one person with, he was actually smoking in addition. That's what even upset me more. At the time, I had like 50 staff doing what he was doing, and this guy was just so relaxed, and all he would just do is tape the box and just push it away. And it was offensive to me. But you say it is efficiency.
Yes.
So let's not be offended.
Yeah.
You know what, Kobby, we need to agree something. This is probably just a quarter of what I was looking for from you. What I've managed to get a sense of in this conversation is the universality, the fact that it can be applied in different things that we do. But I'll be interested in a bit more in industry by industry. What are some of the crazy innovations? Because one thing you said that struck me today is that even for the children we are seeing, don't let them use AI too early. What you are showing me is that even when you start using them, look for a specific type that will not just give them the answers, but will set questions, let them respond, monitor them, and then give them tailored assignments that will bring out the best in them. That is far more beneficial than just throwing them into the The generative model, yes. So I've learned from that. I think we must do a second show and now go industry by industry into what is happening, look at the future of it, and then help people who are scared of it to see why they probably just can't ignore this seemingly invading algorithm.
True.
Can we sign up on that?
We can.
All right. Your closing thoughts for this first show?
It's going to be hinged on what you said, which is the fear that people have about AI. It's coming for our jobs. It's going to make us lazy. It's going to ruin the world. It's going to end the world. People actually are afraid that AI is going to become all powerful and then end the world. But the thing is, we forget that humans created these things. Yes, they may become more efficient than us, but we can always pull the plug. And the truth of the matter is that we also need to continue to learn. We can't just... And I was saying this to a couple of people some time ago, that the same way the phone booth was replaced by comm centers was replaced by space to space has been replaced by Momo vendors. This is definitely always going to be something else. AI is just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably something on the horizon that's coming that's even going to replace it. So you're going to stay and wait for that to pass you by. When the next thing comes, then what happens? So let's just accept that, yes, there are risks, as with everything. The knife that you use in your kitchen could be the same knife that somebody uses to murder someone. But without it, it would be very difficult for you to make your favorite meal. Doesn't mean that you throw the knife away at all. So let's embrace it. Let's embrace the risk and embrace the possibilities as well. Knowing solves a lot of things. If you don't know, you'll be in trouble.
What's the biggest, in one word, what's the biggest gift AI gives us?
Efficiency.
I knew you would say that. The voice you heard is the voice of Kobby Spiky Nkrumah, IT manager at Quantum FC, my guest for today in this conversation about AI. All we've been talking about is AI for all. Why you just can't afford to ignore this sensation called artificial intelligence. What is your take on this? Where are you on this journey? Are you exploring it at all? Are you asking the questions? In our next edition, we'll go a bit more into the technicalities of artificial intelligence, and you'll find out how in your industry, those you are applauding are probably using something you don't have and leveraging technologies you've not yet ventured into. We'll answer a bit more the question about the risks and how we can ameliorate them, and then look at the future of artificial intelligence. My name is Albert Ocran, saying thank you on behalf of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and our partners MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, the Springboard channel on YouTube, and Graphic Communications Group. So we come your way again next week. Albert Ocran saying, God bless you, and God bless you.